So Cult of the Lamb just came out with its recent massive update, and that recent update is called the Unholy Alliance, which brings in local co-op to the game. So if you have a buddy or like a family member that enjoys playing Cult of the Lamb, you can now play the game with two players, which I think is really freaking awesome. And of course, there's a couple other fun little things they added along with this update too. But however, there have been some technical issues with this recent update. Now, you might be wondering, Nightwing, what's wrong with Cult of the Lamb right now? Like, what's wrong with the game? I'm playing this game and it's perfectly fine for me. What's wrong with the game, dude? There have been reports of the game crashing like more often. Now, I am a big fan of Cult of the Lamb. I love Cult of the Lamb. I think it's a amazing and a hilarious game. And I played this a lot on my Nintendo Switch, my PS4, and my PS5. And with this recent update, it's just been more crash prone to the point where, oh, hey, just doing the simplest of things can cause this game to crash. And speaking from my personal experience, I don't know if anyone else has ran into this, but I ran into this issue a lot. I was trying to do a couple little things like playing a couple mini games like Knuckle Bones or playing on like the little drums to generate sin, and my game kept crashing. And I was just trying to collect some XP for my cult in order to make my cult better, and then my game crashed. You know, the little Cereman souls that you collect from the shrine. I collected too many of those, my game crashed, and just playing the game in general, like for extended period of time, or if I wanted to select a certain follower to do a certain action, my game crashed. And I don't know what it is, but with this recent update to Cult of the Lamb, it's just not really doing that well. I saw somewhere over on Reddit where some people were saying, like, oh, hey, it's because we have too many followers, because if you have too many followers, the game is a bit more crash prone. I disagree because I have literally over 100 followers on my Nintendo Switch, and I haven't really had any problems with the game before. And on my PlayStation account, well, at least on my one of my save files on the PlayStation, I have at least over 50 followers. So before this update really even came out, I really did not have a problem with the crashes, but ever since this recent update for the Unholy Alliance came out, it has just been causing way more issues with the game. Now, I know this is made by a smaller indie dev studio. I know it's not their fault and everything. I know they didn't intend for this to happen, but as the game stands right now, it's just basically, at least from my personal experience playing the game, it's basically been nearly unplayable. Now, don't get me wrong, I have had some moments in the game where I was able to play it and actually try co op. I played this game with one of my friends through like the share play feature on PlayStation that basically allows us to play local games through like the person who starts the share play feature on PlayStation. And I was able to get some moments in this game with my friend and try the co-op, and I gotta say I had a lot of fun playing this, and the game does work when it works properly, you know what I'm saying? And playing this game through co-op, it's definitely a breath of fresh air, and it's definitely a lot of fun to play, especially with friends. Now, once again, don't get me wrong, there are some moments in this game that are awesome, and the game does work when it works properly. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I think this game is awesome, but like I've said, there were other moments in this game where I was just having issues, such as trying to do little activities with my cult, or when I'm just trying to collect experience, and when I'm just trying to do mini games even whenever I'm trying to play with a friend, and then the game just ends up crashing. But if I'm doing like crusade runs or something like that, the game runs just fine. You know, like there's not really any problems there when I'm doing like the crusade runs, whether it's solo or co-op, but just doing mostly anything else in the game as of now. Just doing little mini game activities, trying to collect a lot of XP at once, and basically just trying to select a follower to do certain actions. At least if you're trying to send them out on like a scavenging mission, then yeah, it's basically more crash prone. So I don't know what it is, but hopefully this issue gets resolved in an emergency patch sooner than later. I hope that the developers catch wind of this from their community, because this update is looking really dope and it looks really fun. And I do want to play this game a lot more, but I just don't really want to play it if we're going to have some of these massive issues. This is all very interesting to me because a while back, when Cult of the Lamb got updated to the Relics of the Old Faith, and when they had that update out, there were some literal game-breaking bugs to where I remember there was like a couple relics, one of them being like that increases your size, that makes you larger, and one relic that makes you smaller. I remember the second you even press those buttons, you automatically crashed your game, at least from my personal experience, because I was playing on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation during that time. So I remember during the Relics of the Old Faith update a while back, where there were certain relics that literally crashed your game. The ones that increase your size, and the ones that make you smaller, and a couple other ones too that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I remember if you even try to use those relics, and you would just automatically crash the game. Like you crashed your game and you could not be able to progress any further, and you had to restart basically and reload your game, which was very frustrating. And I remember this was a problem for the Switch and PlayStation, at least from my personal experience back then. And this crashing issue has been more common, and this has happened not once but twice now. I don't know what it is with Cult of the Lamb and some of these big updates, but they have been so far like so game breaking in terms of like the crashing department, where the game just crashes so much more. And that's just a shame, because there are some people out there that really want to play this game and try out this update, and they can't really play the game because it's just been crashing so often over the smallest of things. So once again, hopefully the developers hear all this feedback and learn to take this feedback in, and hopefully they learn to patch the game right away. And I want people to enjoy this game, and I want people to play it, because Cult of the Lamb is a phenomenal game and I want people to play it and have fun. But as of now, the game is just basically very difficult to play with all these tech issues. So, once again, I don't know if I'm the only person that's experiencing these issues, but at least from my personal experience, I've been noticing this stuff so much, I just had to make a video and talk about it. So, before I end this video, I know I've been uploading a lot of videos today, and I've been on a bit of an uploading spree. I didn't really want to miss out on talking about some of these major topics, like Call of Duty with its H2 project getting shut down by Activision, and then we had the Helldivers controversy, and then with its recent balance changes, and then we have the Cult of the Lamb update, which is the one I'm talking about right now. And I didn't want to miss out on any of these topics because they were all really important, and I was wondering to myself, like, is this something worth even talking about? Because I don't want to hold off on it until later, because I'm afraid I'll be missing the party then. I've also been hearing rumors about how Elden Ring is going to be possibly sued at some point because the game's too hard, but I do want to wait on that one a little bit more. And I do want to get a bit more information on that when that breaks out. So I'm keeping a close eye on that. But yeah, I just figured I'd get all these videos out today before I forget. And I didn't want to really miss out on any of these big topics. So I figured I'd just go on a bit of an uploading spree today and just let you folks know. So, with this being said, thank you everyone for watching and for listening. And until next time, I'm talking about the recent crashing issues with Cult of the Lamb, and I'll see you all later.